From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
And we want to thank you for joining us here on the News at Noon. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by this midday from his home. And Todd, a great forecast for a Monday in November. I can't believe it.
Yeah, you know, temperatures already in the 70s here, Lauren, and that's even with a little bit of this cloud cover that's been lingering around. We haven't gotten quite into the sunshine as of yet, but we should get there here as the afternoon goes on. And here are those temperatures. Keeping in mind your normal high this time of year is 59 degrees. We're at 77 in Lafayette already, 76 in Muncie. A little cooler in the metro area because, again, that's where there's a little lingering cloud cover. And you can see that the temperature is record high is at 76 degrees. We are expecting a high that's going to get up to right around 78. Now there's that cloud cover that you see here across parts of the area. This will thin out at times. I don't think it's quite as sunny as it was during your day on Sunday. We'll call it partly cloudy, but we'll get very close to that record high of 76 degrees. The cold front is still well off to our west, and it's moving very, very slowly. That was a stationary front. There's the cold front for you. And that's not going to arrive until late in the day tomorrow. So today we're into the mid to upper 70s with partly cloudy skies. This evening, if you have plans, you are just fine. Tomorrow, though, better rain chances return, followed by cooler temperatures heading into the middle of the week. More on that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren?
All right, Tom, thank you so much. Well, we are following breaking news this midday from the north side of Indianapolis. Metro Police still investigating a shooting that left a child wounded. We're told the victim was only 9 years old and that they're in stable condition at the hospital right now. Police were just called before 10 o'clock this morning to a home on Racket Club North Drive that's near I-465 and Ditch Road. So far, all police have told us that a 9-year-old there was shot. They have not released any information about what led up to the gunfire. Of course, we'll continue to work to find out more information. We'll have the latest for you at WRTV.com. For the 5th consecutive day, COVID-19 cases have surpassed 4,000 in a single day here in the state of Indiana. Moments ago, the state health department reports 4,213 new cases. That's down slightly from our weekend numbers. 34 additional COVID-related deaths were also reported, and that pushes Indiana past 4,400 during this ongoing pandemic. The positive test rate also remains high today, the 7-day average now at 18.6% for unique individuals. As COVID-19 cases spike across the country, this could be a major breakthrough. However, today Pfizer announced that its early data shows its coronavirus vaccine is more than 90% effective in preventing infection during the 3rd phase of its clinical trial. The drug company says it's still gathering data, but it expects to ask the Food and Drug Administration for emergency authorization for the vaccine later this month. Even if the vaccine is approved, most Americans would likely not receive a vaccine until much later in 2021. You just heard a moment ago, President-elect Joe Biden already at work. His COVID-19 task force holding its first meeting today, even as President Trump has not conceded the election. ABC's Alex Prochet has more for us now.
After a historic victory,
this is the time to heal in America.
That shattered glass ceilings.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
This morning, the Biden-Harris team not waiting until Inauguration Day, moving forward in tackling the coronavirus pandemic. The president-elect naming his own task force to fight the virus. Former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, former FDA Commissioner David Kessler, and Dr. Marcella Nunez-Smith of Yale University will lead the group. Also on the board, vaccine expert Dr. Rick Bright, the whistleblower who alleges he was reassigned by the Trump administration after resisting political pressures to support hydroxychloroquine as a COVID-19 treatment.
That plan will be built on bedrock science. I will spare no effort, none, or any commitment to turn around this pandemic.
Biden's plans include doubling the number of coronavirus testing sites and boosting tracing, calling on governors to mandate masks, and a task force to look at racial disparities. Looking ahead, his team unveiled its official transition website, buildbackbetter.com, outlining issues he says he'll tackle on day one. Meanwhile, President Trump is still refusing to acknowledge he lost, vowing to continue filing long-shot legal challenges, almost all of which have been tossed out. Releasing a campaign statement saying only this election is far from over. The Trump team and their supporters making baseless claims of voter fraud without providing evidence. Most elected Republicans not congratulating Biden as president-elect, and some top Republicans backing Trump's refusal to accept the results.
I believe President Trump still has a path to victory.
Do not concede, Mr. President. Fight hard.
The president is expected to file more legal challenges today. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for vote counts to be completed in a few states: Georgia, North Carolina, and Arizona. Alex Perche, ABC News, Wilmington, Delaware.
And new this midday, cities of Fishers and Indianapolis are celebrating two projects designed to ease congestion near the Hamilton-Marion County line. Officials cut the ribbon on the 96th Street Rehabilitation Project this morning. The project includes new roundabouts at 96 and Sargent Road, more travel lanes, and a pedestrian path on Mud Creek Bridge. There's also more pedestrian walkways on the north and south sides of 96th Street.
We're actually even able to expand the scope of this project well beyond just to this roundabout, but all the way back to the interstate to refresh this corridor. And we really believe the southern border in the city of Fishers is going to continue and increase in its vibrancy.
Well, the total cost of this project is around $11 million, and the cost was between federal, state, and local governments. He was more than just a host. He was a national institution in 2 countries. Next, we pause to say goodbye and highlight his connection to a pair of Hoosiers. Todd.
And Lauren, it's nice and mild here all across the state of Indiana, where temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. And we have today and tomorrow with the warmth around. And then, as you can see, the stark contrast as you get into the Dakotas with temperatures in the 20s and 30s. It's not going to be that cold, but that cooler air is heading our way. More coming up when the News at Noon continues right here on WRTV.
Merci beaucoup, bonsoir mesdames et messieurs et bienvenue à ce match Reach for the Top, génie en herbe, qui a 2 buts très importants.
High Rollers! And here's the man with the action, Alex Trebek.
What a shot, snake eyes, a double, I get an insurance mark. Good morning, everyone.
And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
And it says you can recite the names of the chemical elements in 40 seconds. I'll give you 10 seconds to do what you can.
Okay, stop me when you need to. Antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, rhenium, nickel, neodymium, pseudonym, germanium, iron, mercury, methane.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
He made you feel at home. He was, as I said in that post, a host in the true sense of the word, not just a game show host. He was a host. He welcomed you onto the stage. He welcomed viewers into that studio. And he made you feel at home.
New governor has a 7-year-old miniature schnauzer named Henry Holcomb. It's the first dog of Indiana. He's very popular, extremely popular in social media. I thought it would be neat to write a feature on the person who does his social media. Governor's office insists that the dog himself does his social media.
This week, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. What you see on air really is what I am. And I'm a reasonably nice guy. And I'd like you to view me that way. I don't go out of my way to malign anybody. I want to be considered as helpful and generous and kind.
Let's take a look at your response. Did you come up with the right one? No? What is, we love you? That's very kind of you. Thank you.
And he will be missed. Well, history was made in more than one way. Next, what the 2020 campaign means for people who will soon see someone who looks like them in one of the most powerful offices in our country. Let's take a look outside right now. Some clouds hanging over the downtown area here, but we have a warm November day. Todd Glassett will break down our forecast and let us know when things will cool back down. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV. Welcome back. As we know, Kamala Harris is making history as not only the first woman to become the vice president-elect, she's also the first woman of color to burst through that barrier. Our own Troy Washington spoke to several Hoosiers who are sharing what that means to them.
The people have made a choice and they decided to elect Kamala Harris.
A woman, but not only that, the daughter of not one but two immigrant parents. Harris becomes the first Black and Indian American woman vice president-elect, making her the highest ranking female elected official in the United States history.
You hear about what we can become, but to see it in my lifetime, to actually see a Black woman in the White House and in D.C. is something that I didn't believe I would see in my lifetime.
Even a day later, she's still basking in it.
Just a moment where we as Black women have to soak this in and just take it and run with it. And what I mean by run with it is say, we've seen it happen, we can do it. Let's now continue the work that she's about to open the doors for us to do.
Belinda Drake recently made a run for state senate. She didn't win, but Saturday's victory inspired her to keep pressing for change here in Indiana.
It gave me hope, but it also gave me motivation to get back to the work, stay on the ground, continue to organize.
She says while seeing this might be shocking because Harris is the first.
This is like the new norm. Is what I like to call it, like for that next generation, for the kids that are under age 10. I hope that she creates a space and opportunity for us to then have a Black female president. Then we start having more Black female governors, or whatever you want to be at this point. You can literally be anything that you want to be as a Black woman in this country, and she's proved that.
Working for you downtown, Troy Washington, WRTV.
Troy, thank you. Millions of people in Florida remain under flash flood warning. The tropical storm Ada continues to churn. The storm made landfall in the Florida Keys late Sunday. Ada is now pushing towards the Gulf, but it's forecast to push back towards Florida. The storm is expected to bring heavy rain to the state, in addition to parts of Georgia and Alabama. Busy weather day for several areas across the country, Todd, but here in central Indiana, we got really lucky. We have a beautiful forecast for our Monday.
You know, it's been a great stretch of weather. If you just take it all the way back to last week, even Thursday, Friday were beautiful. Then we got into the 70s for Saturday and Sunday, including a record high yesterday. There's the potential we could break a record high temperature both today and again during the day tomorrow. The record high for today is 76 degrees. My forecast high is 78. Tomorrow it may be a little more difficult because tomorrow there's going to be a little more in the way of cloud cover around. But either way, whether we break the records or not, we're talking about mid-70s here as we head into today, the 9th, and then the 10th tomorrow. You can see in downtown Indianapolis right now, as you look from IMS, there's a little bit in the way of cloud cover that is out there across the area. And because of that cloud cover, temperatures are actually a little bit cooler in Columbus, Indy, Martinsville, Bloomington right now, where we're in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. Where there's more in the way of sunshine, you see how quickly the temperatures will warm. 78 in Lafayette, 76 in Muncie. So even though we're right now 5 degrees below that record high in Indianapolis, or at least tying it, once we get into some sunshine and the clouds thin out, the temperature should quickly start to moderate. But look at the contrast across the country. You can see exactly where the cold front is. 64 in Minneapolis, but you just go 15 miles to the west and temperatures are currently sitting in the 40s in western Minnesota. Denver's at 31, and here we are in central Indiana and up towards Chicago with temperatures in the low 70s. Highs today will be in the upper 70s to maybe 80 degrees in some areas if you can get into the sunshine, but all those temperatures should be right around the record high of 76. Radar is completely quiet. And not only has November been warm, but it's been pretty dry as well. We haven't had a whole lot in the way of rainfall so far this month. And this cold front that I mentioned, you saw the temperature contrast. There's some rain and even some snow on the backside. This is just slowly going to make its way off towards the east, so it's not going to get here until late in the day tomorrow. If you have evening plans tonight, you're just fine. Temperatures will be in the 60s across the area with a partly cloudy sky, and you may need a light jacket once the sun sets, but otherwise you're in pretty good shape. Look at these temperatures tomorrow morning as you start your Tuesday. Very, very comfortable. We're in the 60s to start the day, and then we'll climb up into the mid-70s. Again, probably not quite as warm tomorrow as the clouds will be a little bit thicker, but as far as the rain goes, I jumped ahead to 4 p.m. here to start your probability rain chance graph. graph here, and you can see it's only about a 20% chance while the sun is up. That's a stray shower here or there. Then the rain chances will ramp up a little bit tomorrow evening after we get past a sunset. And you can see the stray showers here and there across parts of the area during the evening hours. But then you notice the line of showers and storms coming through. Cold front probably passes through central Indiana between about midnight and 2 a.m. a Wednesday morning. And there could be some gusty winds with the front as it comes through, but we are not expecting any widespread severe weather. That is the good news. And then as we look ahead, it's much cooler on Wednesday, but that brings us back down to more seasonable levels across the area at 57, 56 on Thursday as well. And while these temperatures are going to be running 20 to 25 degrees cooler across the area, and it's going to feel obviously cooler and a bit of a reality check. That's where we should be, Lauren, this time of year. We shouldn't be in the upper 70s for 3-4 days in a row. We should be in the 50s. So while it will be cooler, nothing really to worry about all that much. It's not like we're getting a blast of cold air here, just more seasonable temperatures. And then after the rain chances late tomorrow, no rain chances in the forecast again until late in the weekend.
All right, we'll take it, Todd. Thank you so much. Sometimes you get asked to sign out for a loan for a family or a friend, but there's a website that's now targeting people in an effort to steal their money. The Better Business Bureau's Tim Maniscalco says this shady company is now on their radar.
Right now, there are companies on the website that will actually help you find a cosigner for a loan. And if you don't know what a cosigner is, basically that is a person who comes in and they will accept the responsibility to pay back the loan if you, the person that actually has the loan, can't pay it back. A lot of times parents will cosign for their children, let's say for a car or for college, those types of things. But this is a website that actually says that they will find you a cosigner. What we found is that when people go to this site, they'll have to pay maybe $30 or $40 to get the cosigner. And what you actually get is they don't actually find it for you. They give you a list of people that you can contact. And then what we found is that a lot of times those people that are on the list, there's broken links, the phone numbers aren't right, or even in some cases, people have paid their money and haven't gotten anything. So we caution people to be very, very careful before they pay any money for these types of things. Also, I think it's always best if you're going to do something like this, because you are entering into a financial contract with someone, look for a parent or a relative or a good friend that you know that may do something like that. You also want to check out somebody's credit score before you enter into any sort of contract like this. But we've just not seen very good luck with these websites that offer these cosigners to cosign for your loan. I think they're just out there trying to collect a little bit of money, and really the work is left up to you if you can even get a hold of the people. So just be very, very careful of this type of offer on any website.
All right, Tim, thank you. You can find out much more about this scam at the Better Business Bureau's website. Just go to bbb.org. Still ahead here on the news at noon, a story we think will inspire you. His motto is to do 1% better each day. And now he's done something that's never been done before. We'll tell you his story coming up here on the news at noon. You're watching WRTV.
I could use my obstacles as an excuse to limit me. I don't do excuses, and my cousins won't take them. Instead, I work hard.
Well, his motto is to get 1% better each day, and that's now helped Chris Nikic make history. The 20-year-old from Florida competed in Saturday's Visit Panama City Beach Ironman triathlon. That makes Chris the first person with Down syndrome to ever finish an Ironman event. The Ironman is made up of a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bicycle ride, and a full 26.2-mile marathon. Chris overcame a crash during the bike ride to cross the finish line in 16 hours, 46 minutes, and with 9 seconds. That's less than 14 minutes under the official cutoff time. A big congratulations to him. Todd, I saw that story over the weekend. That is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. The Great story to see there over the weekend, and just an amazing feat for anybody that just competes in those Ironmans. All right, outside right now we're dealing with temperatures in the 70s. The record high today very much in jeopardy, 76 degrees. Most of tomorrow's dry. Those storms and showers you see mainly after sunset on Tuesday, but that cold front does trend us back to more seasonable weather with highs in the mid to upper 50s for the remainder of the week, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us and making WRTV your choice for news. We hope you come back here tonight and join us for the news at 5 o'clock. Get outside, take a walk, have a great afternoon.